Hello everyone, my name is Vladimir Kazarinov. This is a blog about Russia. So after showing you a beautiful, splendid view of St. Petersburg, I think this would be a good idea to show you something really not so splendid looking, really not so beautiful, which is not difficult to find in Russia actually. For example, I'm speaking what I'm going to show you. These are the most often spread, the most often used housing condition in this country. So I mean the basic cheap apartments which were built in Soviet area, which means before the year of 1991. The year when the Soviet Union collapsed, which is another topic. About this I will tell you somehow later. So first of all, let me give you some examples about how these apartments looks like. Let me show you. So here on the picture you could see you could see something typical example of typical Soviet build apartment house. So this is simple. It has no decorations from the outside. It is built from concrete blocks for the reasons of economy, for the reasons of to build as fast as possible, as much as possible houses to provide to the people some place to live, to improve their life conditions. It was Soviet socialistic system, so all the constructions in the country was made by the government. So this is an example of how this type of housing could look. So let me give you another example. Another really simple, really basic apartment house built in Soviet Union. It has some painting on the walls, which could make it look less unpleasant compared to the previous example. So it is not gray, it is somehow some color, some yellow, some pale pink on the walls, some like this. And let me give you another example of this type of housing. Another house, it is also painted from the outside. It looks still, I would say, not so pleasant. It looks cheap. It is colored in pink color, but I don't think that makes it less pleasant looking. So this is typical, really typical basic Soviet era built apartment house in Russia. The type of housing which is still the most spread in this country. So the majority of population of this country still lives in this type of housing. So they live in these Soviet building neighborhoods full with this type of houses. So let me also give you some examples about how they look in terms of layout. They usually contain one, maybe two, rare, sometimes three-roomed apartment. So this is a typical layout of a typical Soviet build apartment house. So here you could see, for example, let me show you one. This would be one-room apartment. So here you can see living room, here you can see kitchen. So really simple. Here you could see, I would say this is three-room apartment. So this is room number 1, this is room number 2, this is room number 3, and this is, I would say, this is the kitchen. So that's a three-roomed apartment. Here we can see two-room apartments. So this is the room number 1, bigger room than the room number 2, and here is a kitchen. Here is bathroom, and at the same time is the toilet. So this is two-room apartment. So some like this, some typical layout of typical Soviet build apartment buildings. But in this video I would like to show you mostly how this type of housing looks from the inside, so the typical views of these apartments, how they look in terms of decoration, in terms of furniture, and so on. Here we could face some trouble. I mean, we are not invited in this apartment, in that apartment, but you know, people from time to time have to sell their apartment for some reasons, maybe for exchange for another apartment, maybe to split their apartment, maybe to combine two smaller apartments in one. So there isn't good, maybe just to sell, to exchange the housing for some amount of money. So reasons could be different. So people from time to time have to sell their apartment, which is not surprising. So they have to use special services, special sites, and publish their offers for sale. And in these offers they have to provide some photos about the interiors of the apartment, so they can't escape that. So this is something we could use. We could use these photos, we could use these examples, and we could have a look on the typical interiors of typical Soviet-built apartment houses in Russia. So let me show you some example. So let's start with my hometown Irkutsk. So this is where it is located, and let's have a look of let's pick one such type of apartment and see how it looks from the inside. So this is a typical living room in this type of apartment. As I mentioned previously, it looks, you know, basic. We could see really basic decorations on the walls. So we can see some place to sleep. So this is what I mean. We could see some decorations on the walls, some tigers. I don't know why, just why not to decorate a wall with some tigers. Moving forward, here I guess this is a room for children. We could see here some sleeping place for a kid, maybe for two kids. So it's still basic, it's still really cheap looking. So this is, I guess this is a kid's room. So moving next, here we could see kitchen. So we could see table, we could see microwave. Really interesting tip about a typical kitchen in Soviet-built apartment in Russia, that here on the in the kitchen you could mention a washing machine. So this is a washing machine, and it is located in the kitchen in this apartment, and not only in this. This is really something typical you could see in such type of apartment. The reason is simple. The thing is that the bathroom in this apartment, I would say, I think, I don't know, but I expect the bathroom in this apartment will be really narrow, really small, so there would be no enough room, no enough space for the washing machine. So moving next, another living room, another. Oh no, this is the same living room, same tigers on the walls. You can see same sleeping place. So moving next. Here we can see a balcony. It's really narrow. It's really poorly decorated. So you could see concrete walls in here. So they are not decorated. They are not painted anyhow, and all the rest is really simple, really basic. You could see some simple view from the outside, from the windows. So moving next, another living room. This is really another living room. Some decorations on the wall, really simple. Another sleeping place, some walking place. So nothing pleasant, I would say, in here. Moving next. So this is a hall. You can see same style, if this could be named as style. I would say there's an absence of style, but still some really poor decorated walls, some old doors, really simple, really basic, so nothing pleasant, I would say at all. So moving next, here this is a toilet. It is really narrow. This is really just a space where you could sit to do some stuff which people do in the toilets. So still simple looking. Moving next, this is a bathroom. Yes, as I mentioned previously, there is no enough space for the washing machine in this room, so the washing machine in this apartment was placed in the kitchen. This is something typical for this type of apartments. That's an offer. That's where that's the place which you could buy and live if you want. I'm pretty sure you will not, neither me. So so moving next. All right, so let's pick another city. So we will be picking some cities in the country, and we'll pick just one example from every city. So my idea is to show you that this type of apartment, this type of style, the absence of style, I would say, is something really typical for Russia. And so this is an example from the city of Moscow, the capital city, by the way. So let's see, maybe we can find something more pleasant, more accurate in this type of apartment. So the first photo, here we can see a kitchen. I would say this is more pleasant looking. It's better decorated. No washing machine in the kitchen, which is nice. Which is, I would not say this is ugly. I would say this is something not bad, at least, right? So moving next, this is the view from the balcony. I would say the balcony is also more accurate. Nothing special, nothing beautiful, but still more accurate than the previous example. And from the outside of the window you could see another same type of apartment, same type of building. So that's the way it is. Moving next. So this is living room. The quality of photo is not splendid, but you could see some decorations. It's not ugly, it's not pleasant, just fine, just I would say normal. No furniture, maybe because the previous owner just moved it and offer this apartment for sale without furniture. So moving next. This is a bedroom. So same thing, I would say, not ugly, not pleasant, some place to sleep, something basic, some decorations on the wall or on the ceiling. Moving next. This is the hall. Same thing, not pleasant, not ugly, something normal, something not so bad. So this is the toilet. Same thing, it's more or less accurate. It's still narrow, it's still just enough place, just enough space, enough room, so the one person could sit there alone. Moving next. So moving next to the city of St. Petersburg, where in the center part of the city you could see the splendid views which you could see in my previous video. So another example. A really important note, so for all of you, I would like to explain my method to choose these certain offers. So I don't search for them especially. I didn't spend much time when I was preparing for this video. I just filtered the search in this special site. I just in here I limited the search by the year of 1991, so the year which divide the history of the country on Soviet era and post-Soviet era, and just picked the very first offer. And this is what I did on every city from which I gave and will give you examples. So this is this example. Let's see how it looks like. So we could see, I would say this is a living room, not so pleasant looking, and no furniture, really basic, really simple, really nothing to see much. All right, moving next. This is a hall, so here in the hall you could see the freezer. This is the freezer. I think the reason why the owners put the freezer in the hall, same as in previous example, because there is no much place in the kitchen, so they have to move the freezer on the hall, so that's the way it is. So moving next. This is another living room. I would say it's more or less nice decorated, like you know, no trash, no something ugly, some furniture, some view from the outside of the window, more or less nice. So moving next. This is the kitchen, so yes, it's still not so pleasantly decorated. It has no freezer in here. You could see the absence of freezer because the freezer was in the hall. So this is the kitchen. Moving next. Oh my god. My god. This is the bathroom, and it's really ugly. So you could see that the bath itself is rusted. So you could see that the walls are not fully painted. So it looks like the owners decided to paint the walls, and suddenly the paint was over. It was ended. So they didn't finish the painting and offer this apartment for sale. I really don't know what they expect from the next owner, so he or she or they will have to find the same color of paint and finish the painting. This is really something ugly. Let's just quickly move next. And here's the toilet. It's still not so pleasant looking. It is narrow, just toilet. Okay, moving next. Let's move to some in the middle between Siberia and between the European part of the country. This is the city of Perm, and here an example from this city of the entrance to the apartment, the door, just the door. Oh my god, this is another ugly, I would say the most ugly photo from for this video. Well, this is the balcony, so it is so ugly that even for me, look, I have to mention, I used to live in such types of apartments. I changed several of them, but even for me this looks shocking. I would say it's not just unpleasantly looking, this is a bit not safe looking, this is a bit dangerous looking, so this is really ugly. But this is the balcony from this apartment. So moving next. Well, in contrast to the previous photo, this is the living room, and it looks, I would say it looks nice, it looks more or less cozy, more or less accurate. The furniture is more or less new, the decorations more or less good, so the contrast between this balcony and in this living room is really tremendous. I would explain this by how can we explain? I have an explanation. It's simple. So the current owners of this apartment building had been living in this apartment for years, for decades, and it all came to such condition like this balcony. So they decided to renovate the apartment, and they accumulate some money, and they renovate this only certain room and for this sum of money which they accumulated, and they didn't have more money for the next decoration, so the balcony is still ugly, but the living room is really nice. So that's the big contrast, and after that they decided to sell these apartments. That's the thing. So moving next. This is the kitchen of this apartment, and we can see that it's, I would say it's nice, it's more or less good decorated. There is a refrigerator in the kitchen, so it is not in the hall or somewhere else. So the kitchen is it has enough room, enough space for all which should be in the kitchen, for the freezer. Moving next. This is the hall, simple narrow hall between the different rooms. Oh my god. This is another ugly looking bathroom. So I would say my explanation is correct. So the owners accumulated some money to make renovations just for the one room, and they just didn't accumulate enough money to make decorations in the rest of the apartments, and for some reasons they have to sell it. So we can see same ugly things like rust on the walls, like crowdedness of all this sort of unpleasantness. Here you are supposed to take a shower, maybe not you, but the next owners. Moving next. Well, toilet, simple toilet, narrow. They all are narrow. They all are just to, you can isolate yourself and do your stuff alone. The same thing in all these examples. Moving next. So we will move the last example for this video, I would say. So this is the city of Volgograd. It is located in the south part of the country, and then one example from this city. Same thing. I just picked the very first offer from some random offer, and the very first some random apartment, and the very first offer in this apartment. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, this is the living room, and I would say it looks not so bad. It looks, I would say, more or less nice. Some coziness, some furniture, nice looking room. This is another living room. It looks still not bad, maybe not so pleasant, but I would say not ugly. Same thing, we have a freezer in the living room. Once again, this is the living room and this is the freezer, because I would say the kitchen is narrow, so there is no enough space for the freezer in the kitchen. Moving next. Yes, this is the kitchen, and you could see it is more or less nice decorated, but it is crowded, it is narrow. There is no space for a freezer, so it was located in the living room, which is not much convenient, because every time you have to cook something, you have to move from your kitchen to your living room and move some food from that room to this room, which is not convenient. Moving next. This is the toilet. The photo is not good, but the room itself is more or less nice, I would say. And this is the bathroom. Still not bad bathroom, and the washing machine is in the bathroom where it is supposed to be. So that was the bathroom, and this is the balcony. Not bad. If this is not a balcony, I would say this is a view from the windows. Some view, some window. That's it. So this is another. This was another example. So by this, I think that's enough. So I think by that examples, you saw some typical living conditions in which I would say the most of citizens in this country still have to live, and I changed some of that types of apartments. So that's the way it is. So by this, I think that's all. Thanks for watching, and see you in next videos.